X was a massive surprise for me this year. It was a fun throwback slasher similar to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but with underlying themes of sexual freedom and purpose. Even though I thought X was really, really good, I didn't love it as much as a lot of people do. But when I saw the trailer for Pearl, I got really, really excited. And I didn't know why at first, but then I realized Mia Goth's performance as Maxine and also the villain Pearl was my favorite part of the film. So for them to take her and make an origin story for the villain, and she's going to get to do the film on her own, I thought it was an interesting prospect. After seeing the movie, it is not what I expected. I thought we were going to get more of the same, but more focus on Pearl, but it subverted my expectations. Before I get into the premise, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends who love reviews and reactions. Let's talk about what this movie is about. Trapped on her family's isolated farm in 1918, Pearl, played by Mia Goth, must tend to her ailing father under the bitter and overbearing watch of her devout mother. Lusting for a glamorous life like she's seen in the movies, Pearl finds her ambitions, temptations, and repressions colliding in this origin story of X's iconic villain. Let's talk about the good. Mia Goth's back must be hurting, battered, and bruised from carrying this movie. She does a wonderful job with an Oscar-worthy performance and is a tour de force in everything she does. She makes you empathize with this sociopath whose regressed feelings are starting to peek out, and you see more and more how she turns into the villain that we get in X. She executes the feeling of isolation, someone that's very isolated, has no one to talk to that she feels like she can trust about her feelings, because this is 1918 when the Spanish influenza was going around. So her family is isolated on this farm because her father already contracted the virus and now is unable to talk, take care of himself. So the burden is on her and her mother to take care of him 24/7. But all she wants to do is leave this farm, become a star, dance with her church choir, or be in a movie. She fantasizes all the time about that, and her hatred and her depressed feelings are just building up through the course of the movie, and you see her becoming more and more depraved and demented. And the range of roller coaster emotions that she goes on during this movie, you see her be hopeful, trying to fall in love, panicking, being rageful, does it masterfully under the direction of T. West. And speaking of T. West, he is the director, editor, and writer of this movie, and he does a fantastic job on all fronts. He transports us to 1918 with the set pieces, the clothing, the way everyone speaks. You really feel like it comes from that time period, and to make it top notch, he includes the Spanish influenza in there. So it ties in into how we feel during 2020, 2021, and even now, how when COVID first started and how everyone felt so isolated. A lot of people became depressed. A lot of people needed some, therapy, and in this time that was not available. So you see why Mia Goth's character Pearl is going through all these things and not having anyone to talk to. And he does a great job of stylizing the film in a way that it feels like a film from that time period, with the grain that's over the film, the very colorful way the outfits pop and everything. She has this really bright red dress that really, really stands out. And I think he did a fantastic job with everything on all the fronts in terms of editing, directing, and writing dialogue. It's hard to compare this movie to anything. This is one of the most unique films I've seen in years. The closest thing I can come up with is that it's like X, Wizard of Oz, and Joker had a baby, and this is the perverted, depraved version of that right here. And I think that what helps it is the supporting two main supporting cast, the father and the mother. They did a fantastic job. The mother being this overbearing, brutal, God-fearing mother who's trying to beat down into Pearl her beliefs, and also feels like her full potential is being held back because she also has to take care of this man who she thought was going to take care of her, and she doesn't like that Pearl feels like she should deserve all this freedom. All that stuff that she did, mixed with the reactions of the father and how he played this character that is kind of like almost not even there most of the time, it would just create an environment that was really engrossing. I don't think that is all depressing and just a character study. Some of the fun from X does transfer over here with the depraved, perverted nature that movie had, mixed in with a message on freedom, your purpose, and how abuse and isolation can really create an environment for someone to become what we think is a monster. Let's talk about the bad. So for me personally, just coming off seeing the movie, I have no qualms with this film. I can't really think of anything that I can really say is a big problem with the film or even a nitpick. I think that it was like a masterfully done film from top to bottom. The only thing I can say for this section is for people who saw X and thinking they're gonna get more of that, this is a very different film. Where X is a fun, perverted slasher film that's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre a little bit and has some funny performances, this film is more of a character study of Pearl. So there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking, a lot of following Pearl's perspective and seeing how she became the villain that we know and love. And there is, some horror aspects to it, but it's more of a character study first, then the horror aspects come later. So that's just a bit of a warning when you're going into this movie. So let's talk about my verdict. So Pearl is the perfect prequel to X. It retroactively makes X much better because of all the things we find about Pearl in this movie. And I think that in any other genre, this movie would give Mia Goth multiple award nominations and maybe wins, because that's how good her performance was. I'm not too sure of it that she will, because it's a horror movie. They might think it's too lowbrow, but I think that T West, Mia Goth, and the supporting cast did a fantastic job of making a movie that is like none other, and it's something I think you should check out in theaters. And with that said, I'm going to give it an A. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? Have you seen Pearl yet? And if you've seen it, drop your comments down below on how you feel, your favorite parts of the movie, how you felt about Mia Goth's performances. And if you have not, does my review make you feel like you want to go check this out, or are you going to wait later for streaming? If you are already a subscriber or even not a subscriber, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel to help build this community, and share this video, like I said before, with people who love reviews, reactions, and more. Hit that notification bell to be notified of my upcoming videos, and you can watch more of my content right now.